Hello and welcome, racing fans. Good to be with you again. I'll be commentating on Saturday. We've got 10 races in store and it'll be a double-header of racing action. Of course, for the racing purists, you'll love that. We'll be running alongside Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Of course, we here at HQ on Saturday afternoon, where we'll be a 10-race program at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Now, I do need to remind the punting public out there, the first race goes off at the top of the hour, 12 o'clock. Being a 10-race program, the bar pot will only start in race number 2 at 12:35. Place accumulator race number 3 at 13:10. The big one, the pick 6, race number 4, that goes off at 13:45. The first jackpot will begin in race number 5 at 14:19. So an odd time, but pencil that in. 14:19 is the off time of race number 5. And then the second jackpot will only start in race number 7 at 3:30. All things being equal here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday afternoon. The last race will be race number 10, and that goes off at 5:15. I just want to remind the punting public out there, go and give us a follow on all our Cape socials. Of course, our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find all the perfectly placed interviews which we're able to do during the course of the week, so you can get a quick head start of everybody. Go and listen up to what Adam Marcus had to say, what Des McLachlan had to say, as well as Vaughan Marshall, who's got some lovely runners on the card, and of course Pit Buerta as well. So thank you very much to all those trainers for helping us with those perfectly placed interviews. You'll be able to find that on the YouTube channel. All right, so we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to begin with race number 1. That goes off at 12 o'clock. Now I'm just having a look. I see it's quite an open race. Worldly seems to be the horse that might just find the attraction closer to race time. Glenn Cotson, well, he's in flying form in Durban. A big well done to him and his entire team. Robert Carty gets the ride on Worldly, the 2-year-old chestnut colt, and of course a very nice third last time out. He seems to be improving. He was only beaten a length and a half on that occasion, and I think he's going to get better with racing. So over 1,200 meters this time out, I wouldn't be surprised to see Worldly go bang into the winner's enclosure. There are dangers, however. Number 3, 2020 Vision, Louis Mthotwa for Brett Crawford. Well, I think he needed the run last time out. There's no doubt that he needed the run. Ran 5th, moved up going through the 400, and then just ran out of gas that last bit. So a horse that's going to tighten up going through racing. I think he'll get better and better, 2020 Vision, and I'm hoping that he's made that marked improvement back at home. Let's move along to number 7, Tambourine Man. Well, it was great to catch up with Adam Marcus for Perfectly Placed. He did say to me, listen, he's been rested a little bit. He might just come into the race a little underdone, but he's in good form. He's consistent. And I think with that sort of form, if he can continue and come back to the races in the same form, there's no reason why he shouldn't be right on top of them. Number 7, Tambourine Man. Gareth Wright gets the ride for Adam Marcus. And then I want to talk about number 9, King Viserys. Well, he looked all over a winner in his last start. He ran a great second on that occasion. Keenan Steyn gets the ride for Pit Buerta. Now, if you go and watch the race, he was languishing behind them, a long way in behind, and all of a sudden, between the 400 and the 300, he had made up stacks of ground. So King Viserys, if he can build on that performance, there's no reason why he shouldn't go very close to winning here as well. I'd imagine, like I say, the betting attraction will be around Worldly. Watch him go down to the start, but there's dangers. 2020 Vision, you can make a case for Tambourine Man, King Viserys. There's a few others, but I'm not going to bore you. So an open race, maybe your swingers, trifectas, and your quartets is where you want to angle in trying to make some money in race number 1. Let's go to race number 2. 12:35 is the time you need to pencil in. This is when the buy pot starts. The Cape Racing Sales, Cape A Stakes. It goes off every 1,100 meters. So they'll line up at the top of the straight at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Now, this is a great race. It's not the biggest of fields, but there's lots of quality. Number 1, Questioning. Ashton Aries for Vaughan Marshall. He's a beautiful individual. He'll go down to the start, I'm sure, magnificently. 61.5 kilograms on his back. He ran a great third last time out, and he was right on top of them in a very warm field. So I'm expecting him to go nicely. A stable companion, Icy Blast, also ran a cracker. Word on the ground from Vaughan Marshall is they're both in a very good space, and they'll be competitive. This horse ran second over 1,000 meters last time. I know he's a horse that's always come to the course with a reputation. He's got the ability, and I wouldn't be surprised with only 54 kilograms on his back to make his stable companion Questioning work a bit. Mufasa, well, you can't fault his form. I know he's also got a reputation. Watch him closely. Brett Crawford is the trainer. Louis Mthotwa gets the ride. Ran second last time out, also in a warm field. So I'm expecting Mufasa to go close. Bereave, you can make a case for. He's run in the Kaya Stables Diadem Stakes behind Thunderstruck, was out the top draw. They haven't been able to do too much work with him. I know he's got his problems, but he's really consistent, is Bereave, and I'm hoping for Adam Marcus and for the owners that he can give them a bold showing once again. So open race, I really don't like the look of it. I know it's competitive. I know there's a few nice individuals in the race, but it's not the race I'm going to tell you guys. Go and put the rent money. So questioning IC Blast, Mufasa, and Bereave. I'd imagine the winner's going to come from one of them. That is the bar pots. Pencil that time in race number 2, and that goes off at 12:35. Okay, so we move along to race number 3, 10 past 1, the start of today's place accumulator. It's the Cape Turf Club maiden plate, where around the turn, 1,400 meters is the trip. And I'm quite big on number 6, Cliff Swallow, Brett Crawford and Louis Mkotwa. Well, you can't fault his form. I'm going to say he was a little bit disappointing last time out. I think many punters expected him to go and win that sort of contest. He moved up like he was going to go on and win, and then just became a little one-paced, showing signs that the step up in trip is what's needed now. So I'm quite strong on Cliff Swallow. I think he's going to take some beating in race number 3. The other horse that we need to focus on, number 1, Groove Jet. I can tell you there's been a little bit of support already for this individual. Justin Snaith and Sean Veal from that inside draw of 1. Always a big plus here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Ran 4th in his last start. Behind that, or his penultimate run, he ran a great 3rd. So he's clearly hitting his straps as number 1, Groove Jet, and he could be the immediate danger to Cliff Swallow. And then 101 to pencil in. A horse that's going to pop up any moment now is Prince of Tibet. 3-year-old Bay Gelding, Aldo Dermeyer sticks with him for Pit Stain. He ran 4th over 1,600 meters in his last run. He always looks so well in the preliminaries. When he goes down to the start, he looks equally as well. And I think one of these days, you're going to get some value about Prince of Tibet. So if you've got a bit of budget, include this one into your PAs. But I'm big on Cliff Swallow. I'm hoping that the step up in trip is exactly what's going to help him get into the winner's enclosure. Now we lead along. We go to race number 4. It is the first leg of the pick 6. 13:45 is the off time. It's the Cape Turf Club Syndicate's maiden plate. It's over 1,800 meters, and potential banker. Well, many punters have told me they've been waiting for this horse to step up in trip, as have I. Water Dragon is his name. Wow, he's a magnificent looking individual. Thanks to Vaughan Marshall for being kind enough to give us those interviews. You can find that on our YouTube channel. He's upbeat that this horse is going to take quite a bit of stopping. Inside draw of 1, a big plus. Ashton Aries on top, riding winner after winner, and the step up in trip. So there's positives around Water Dragon, and I think he's going to be the banker for me. I know there's still some value to be had about him. Earlier on this week, when we recorded the show, 2-1 was the price. I think that's going to start a lot shorter, closer to race time. He took off over 1,400 meters last time out. He ran 2nd, and now that he gets 1,800 meters with a good draw, doesn't look to be the strongest of fields. He's my horse for the day. I like this horse, Water Dragon, to win race number 4. There's not too many others I want to touch on. Maybe if you want to, Aladdin's Lamp. Well, he's improving with racing. He also ran a much better race last time out when finishing 2nd. But ultimately, the improving 3-year-old, for me, Water Dragon. I'm not going to bore you. He's going to be my selection in race number 4, the start of today's pick 6. Let's go to race number 5. Awkward time, but this is the time you need to pencil in. 19 minutes past 2. It's the Vaughan Marshall Racing Syndicate Cape C Stakes. It's over 1,600 meters. This race, well, you can make a case for a number of these horses. Let's start with number 2, Norshon, Vaughan Marshall, and Aussie Note, drawn 2. You're going to get 5-1. I think closer to race time, he'll always start in that sort of a region. He ran 4th in his last start. That was over 1,600 meters behind All About Ronnie. Now, they finished in a heap. There wasn't much in it. The first 5 horses crossed the post. And if you have a look at this horse, he was only beaten a length and a half at the wire. Now, All About Ronnie, big unit, Fly for Chura, they'd all be very competitive in a race of this nature. So I would watch out for number 2, Norshon. He's going to be competitive, and I'm hoping that Jody van Heerden will be at the races to shout his boy home. Norshon, the 5-year-old Bay Gelding. Master Paris, well, you can't fault his form. I mean, he's a beautiful looking grey individual. Sean Veal rides for Justin Snaith. Lots of pudding on his back, 61.5 kilograms. He's got the draw in his favor. He won a good race over 1,600 meters last time. I thought it was a particularly good ride from Grant van Niekerk on that occasion. He beat To the Moon and Back, and he won convincingly. In fact, he had the race sewn up going past the 300 already. So Master Paris, for me, he's a horse that you need to pencil in. And then Augusta Blue doing well according to Adam Marcus. And finally, number 6, Green Mandarin. Robert Carty for Glenn Kotson. 61.5 kilograms on his back. Now, he beat Fualopik in his last start. And we know what Fualopik he's come out to do last weekend at HQ. He won impressively. He won very impressively in the Hollywood Syndicate Silk. So Green Mandarin, if he can show signs of bringing that last run to the course, naturally he's probably the horse that they all need to beat when it comes to race 5, the start of Jackpot 1. Race number 6 is off at 14.55. It's the Race Cape powered by Hollywoodbets. It's a Cape B Stakes. It's over 1,600 meters. It's a very open race. I think there's going to be a few punters wanting to lean towards quartets over here. Let's start with number 2, Big Unit. Louis Mkotwa for Brett Crawford, drawn to 55.5 kilograms on his back. He ran a great second over 1,600 meters last time out behind All About Ronnie. In fact, I thought he had the race sewn up. I was commentating on the day, and when Big Unit started to lengthen, I thought it was race over. It was a great ride from Richard Fourie from On All About Ronnie, who got there in the nick of time. So nothing wrong with Big Unit's form. He's a lovely looking individual. Draw 2, you can't fault him. He'll be scraping paint, I'm sure, with Louis Mkotwa, and I'm expecting him to go very close to winning race number 6. Holding Thumbs is interesting. Well, he's gone for the unkindest cut of all. He's been gelded. I know the yard have always thought quite a bit of him. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts showing glimpses of coming to form. Nothing would surprise me to see him maybe make a trip up to Durban. He's been tried at the highest level here in the Western Cape, Holding Thumbs. Robert Carty gets the ride for Glenn Cotson. Drawn 4, only got 55.5 kilograms on his back. I'm going to say he's been a little bit disappointing. I know when he won his maiden, they were speaking very highly of Holding Thumbs, but maybe, like I say, the gelding might just do the trick for this individual. So at a decent price, factor him in. He could return to form in no uncertain term. He's a beautiful looking horse. He races in the silks of course, Gary Player, and I know they've always had high expectations for Holding Thumbs. So just to waffle on about him, I'm expecting him to pop up into the minor bets over here. Le Legionnaire, well, he was disappointing. I'm hoping he can bounce back. I did speak to Des McLaughlin. Unfortunately, they're of the opinion that he might just be a bit high in the ratings, so they're waiting for that rating to drop with Le Legionnaire before he can become competitive again. And then Quartermain's interesting. Eric Sands flying here in the Western Cape. His yard's in great form. Sean Veal's been booked to ride. You need to sit on him as long as possible. He'll cruise up to them. You just got to hope that he can see it out. He's got some serious form, number 9, Quartermain, and nothing would surprise me to see him go into the winner's enclosure. But all things being equal, if I was asked for a selection, I'm going to tell you my top selection is going to be Big Unit, Louis Mkotwa for Brett Crawford. Let's go to race number 7. 3:30 is the off time. Now, race number 7 is the perfectly placed Cape C Stakes. It is for fillies and mares. It's over 1,400 meters. 3:30, as I've mentioned, that's the time you need to pencil in for the start of Jackpot 2. I don't want to sound like a stuck record, but this is probably the most awkward race of the day, the toughest race of the day. Hang Out the Stars looked all over a winner last time out. It was a great run. Draws 1, 54 kilograms on the back. Ashton Aries been booked to ride. Got beaten on the line by Kabona Lesedi. Now, what's interesting is the horse that ran 4th over there, Will the Pleasure. I think he's smart from the Vaughan Marshall yard. So Hang Out the Stars, nothing wrong with that last performance. Should go very well from that inside draw of 1. Queen Bomi at a big price. Here's one for the punters. I'm hoping they give this horse a chance. The day they give Queen Bomi a chance and she's allowed to run at them, she's going to be very effective. Don't be discouraged by her last few starts here in the Western Cape. The day things work out for her, she can certainly run. So pencil her in at a big price. She's going to be a massive price, number 3, Queen Bomi. So one for trifectas and quartets. Dream Searcher, Adam Marcus trying to work her out. She's got me stumped, there's no doubt. She's a 3-year-old bay filly. Gareth Wright has been booked to ride, 57 kilograms on the back, drawn 6. If you go 3 starts back, she ran a very good second on that occasion behind Lorena. She was beaten 2 1/4 lengths. If we have a look at that form line, Enchanting Choice as well as Grandiosa came out to frank that form line. So if Dream Searcher can bounce back to that run, she can also pop up in race number 7. Little Miss Pink, Vaughan Marshall did advise, leave her out at your own peril. I agree with that. She can pop up. She's a 5-year-old bay mare. I know she's hard to go and rubber stamp and say, guys, have a bet on this individual. But Little Miss Pink, if things work out for her, she can also be very competitive. And then further down, Double Dream, Senior Victoria, they're probably going to need to improve to feature. So I don't like the look of the race number 7. If I had my way, I would advise punting Public out there. And I'm not going to get a pat on the back for this, but go the big F in that start of Jackpot 2. So we move along to race number 8. 4:05 is the off time. It's the Taking the Reins Class 5, and we back up the straight. They line up over 1,200 meters. Banker for me, short and sweet. I don't want to know about it. Otaniqua. Number 5, Andre Nel and Aldo Derme, they team up. 61 kilograms on his back. He's drawn 5 if you're looking for him in his barrier box. He won a great race first time out on debut. There was talk around him, and he won super impressively. I think his horse is going to go through the divisions. He's smart. He won by 2 1/4 lengths on that occasion, beating Bank Street. And back in third was Late December. I know Greg Enyon thinks highly of. So Otaniqua for me, I'm expecting him to take a power of beating. I know it's not going to be easy for this 2-year-old Bay Colt. He's in open company. He's taking on older horses, so it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. But I just think he's got the class. He's got the ability, and I'm expecting him to continue those winning ways. Hopefully he remains unbeaten, so I'm not going to waste your time over here. Banker in race number 8, number 5, Otaniqua. He's trading at about even money. Let's go to race number 9. 16:40 is the off time. Race number 9 is the penultimate on today's 10-race program. It's the hashtag Destination Cape Racing Class 4 event. It's over 1,200 meters again, so we stay up the lane. Oliver's interesting. Adam Marcus and Aldo Dermain. Now, what's interesting about him is they've gone for the blinkers and they've dropped him in trip. He moves up like he's going to win by a good couple of lengths, and once he ranges up, he doesn't want to put them to bed. So I think it's a smart move, dropping him to 1,200 meters, putting the blinkers on. He'll be ridden, I'm sure, cold, and hopefully he can get there at the right time. He should run all the way through to the line. Number 1, Oliver. Night Tiger is a horse that you always need to chuck into your bet. Swingers, quartets, trifectas. Number 2, Night Tiger is always that sort of horse that you need to include. Night Bomber ran a great second last time out. He's showing signs of coming back to himself. He ran second behind stable companion Grand Bay on that occasion, so I'm expecting him to go in again. I can talk in circles over here. There's so many horses that you can make a case for. Go It Alone for the Social Squad Syndicate. He was very unlucky. Try and pull up that replay. You'll see he was very unlucky, Go It Alone. Lunga Gila's made no secret that he thinks quite a bit of Go It Alone. I see this time out Dennis Schwarz has been booked to ride. And then Grand Bay, number 11, who got the better of his stable companion last time out. It was an interesting ride from Gareth Wright, and if he can apply those same tactics, there's no reason why he shouldn't be competitive again, number 11, Grand Bay. I don't like the look of the race. I'm going to go with number 1, Oliver. That's going to be my each-way selection when it comes to race number 9. We go to race number 10, the Get Out Stakes, the Lucky Last, whatever you want to call it. It goes off at 5:15. It's the Hollywoodbets Bright Future, Class 4, 4 fillies and mares, and we line up at the 1,000 meter marker. Short and sweet for me. I like number 6, Tanneron. Candace Bass Robinson, the trainer. Gareth Wright gets the ride, 57.5 kilograms. Now, she won a great race last time out, Tanneron. She beat Artiste, who I know Brett Crawford thinks the world of. Artiste has subsequently come out to frank those form lines to win a good race here just over a week and a half ago. So if she can continue to build, continue to improve, I think the sky could be the limit for this individual. So short and sweet for me. I think many punters, when they come to the last race, if you've got a few pennies in the back pocket, you might just want to go and anchor that on number 6, Tanneron. Early betting, I can tell you they've got this individual at about 9 to 10. So let's see what happens closer to race time, but I'm going to rubber stamp Tanneron. I think she's improving at a rate of knots, and there's no doubt she should be able to win a race of this nature. That's it from my side. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining. Just remember to follow us on our Cape socials. Head on over to that YouTube channel. You can watch this full preview over there. You'll be able to find those perfectly placed interviews. A big thank you to the trainers once again for joining us and helping the punting public. More importantly, you can find that all on our new channel, the Cape Racing YouTube channel. Give us a like, give us a follow. And then I do want to give you one more push. Come and join us here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. Bring the family. We highly encourage you to come and join us on Saturday. It's the most beautiful race center in the country. Join us in the Pocket Power Lounge if you want a trip to the commentary box. Whatever's going to make you comfortable. Just come and watch some racing here at the most beautiful course in the country.